What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Spooky Nerd Club. I'm your host, Ray, and today I'm with my buddy Mike again. We're going to talk about our favorite T. West film. Let's get into it. So, my favorite film by T. West is House of the Devil. Now, I don't have the physical media copy of it on me because I have it in storage, but I have it on streaming, so I watch it all the time still. And I also digitized my version, so I have it on my hard drive with a bunch of other horror movies that I watch. And yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite horror movies. I own a huge movie poster of it, probably one of the only ones that I actually like hanging up. And it's, starring Jocelyn Donahue, Tom Noonan, and Greta Gerwig. And the film was shot in Lakeville, Connecticut. It was actually shot on 16 millimeter film. And it's one of the reasons why I love this film, because it dropped in 2009, but when you watch it, you feel like it came out in like 1983 or something. Like they captured that timepiece perfectly. The synopsis of the film is basically a struggling college student named Samantha Hughes. She takes this strange babysitting job that she sees a flyer for, and just so happens that same day that she takes the job is a full lunar eclipse, which she's not really aware of, but we find out later, the relation with all of that. And as Samantha is in this house thinking she's babysitting, she slowly realizes that there's like some huge secret going on upstairs. So things start to take a turn and it ends up putting her life in danger, and then shit just really hits the fan. I had no idea about this film. I didn't know what it was. I never heard of it, never saw it, didn't know who T. West was, didn't know the actresses, nothing about this film I knew about. But I went to go pick up, I believe it was Halloween or Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's version on Blu-ray. And when I got to Best Buy, I saw that it was one of the newer releases. So I just grabbed it. I looked at the back. The cover of the DVD instantly sold me, because I always liked those weird culty movies. And read the synopsis, and I was like, you know what? Let's blind buy it. Why not? So I got that in the Halloween film, and I actually watched them both the same night, and I was like, holy shit. I remember texting Frank. I was like, yo, I think I like this movie more than Halloween.
Yeah.
Which was like surprising to me. It was a big bar at the time. You think about it, you blind buying a film that you never heard of, going against a juggernaut like Halloween. It was like very rare that you might think that it was actually good. So who knew T. West would become the guy that he is today?
Yeah. So would you actually go and recommend this to people who don't really like a slow burn? Because I'm not super big on slow burns, but when they're done well, I like it, and this is one of them. But if people just hate it, do you still recommend it?
I personally would recommend it to people that I know that likes horror. It has creepy elements, but it's so slow that I can see a lot of people watching like maybe 30 minutes of it, 45 minutes of it, and being like, all right, next. And I don't say that in a bad way. I just say that because I know a lot of people patience during this time is a lot thin, so a slow burn like that might not keep them intrigued throughout the whole film. What are your thoughts on that film?
I love it, and I'll be honest, the first time I saw it, it was me and my girlfriend at the time, and we both kind of were like, it took too long. Like,
yeah,
we were ready to tap out at like the 40-minute mark, and then, like 10 minutes later, it started to really pick up. But, I mean, you really have to set yourself up. Like, it's a slow burn, but it pays off. There's a lot of slow burns. That's why I was turned off from slow burns. There's a lot of them that don't pay off. Yeah. And this one paid off.
It paid off in my favorite kind of way possible.
Yeah. And I do. I'll put this in his top tier movies.
I think so. I mean, he has a lot of great ones. There's not a lot of T. West films that I'm not a fan of, except for Cabin Fever 2, even though he's not a fan of it as well. But
Yeah.
You know, most of his films I'm like sold and I'm all about. And it's not because he's a Philadelphia guy. It's because he's a good cinematographer. He's a great writer, and he understands the concept of filmmaking, I feel like, which a lot of newer directors that were coming up at the time, I felt like were just going for shock.
Yeah.
You know, and
I think he gets horror.
yeah, for sure. And I know he doesn't want to be like the horror guy. He wasn't trying to fall in that category, but it's like, dude, you're just so good at it. Like, it's like one of those, it's like me being like, you know, like I'm such a good editor, not to like, you know, gas myself up, but I'm such a good editor. Why would I try to go and, you know, and be a production designer or something like that?
Makes sense.
That's my take for my favorite T West film, House of the Devil from 2009.
It's a good pick. I'll jump into mine because it's the follow up. It is. I think he took everything that he learned from House of the Devil, put it into the next movie, and maybe took some of that criticism that we were just saying of it taking too long to get into it. So my film is The Innkeepers.
I have that same version.
It is. I think it's my favorite to this day that he has put out. So it's about a hotel. It is on its last weekend open. They're closing their doors. It's altogether a ghost story. And, you know, the hotel is supposedly haunted. And these two workers, played by Sarah Paxton and Pat Healy, are just trying to get evidence.
Question.
Not really, yeah.
Is Sarah Paxton Bill Paxton's daughter?
I have no idea, but you know what? She kind of looks like him.
I don't know. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, I do not know.
But
we're gonna go Paxton, so yeah, that's.
yeah, it's his daughter. Yeah. She's in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just them, you know, kind of hunting around, doing, you know, ghost hunting, and you know. I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything, you know, some things aren't always what they seem, and, you know, it's all set up for you, but it's so, like, in your face that by the time the movie comes to an end, you're told what's going to happen, and you're still not expecting it, and I think that's a really, really hard thing to do, and I think he nailed that. I think he does great work when he's allowed to just do his stuff. He doesn't really get input.
I think a lot of directors when they get that freedom in a film, you always kind of see the best of their shit. Sometimes it definitely doesn't work with some people, but a guy like him, let that man do what he wants.
I will say, I probably do think there was some kind of producer note in there to, you know, speed it up a little bit. Don't go so slow burn like House of the Devil. It's still a slow burn, but there's enough in there to keep like the story moving, keep you intrigued.
He likes to land on a shot, on a nice wide, and for a long time you might get a slow pushing in slowly, more and more, and then you think something's gonna happen, but nothing happens. But then they get you somewhere else.
Yeah,
you know, it's kind of like he's tricking you a little bit. Where
I think he does always have that shot.
I enjoy that. It's just filmmaking at a high level, and I just really enjoy a lot of his films. I mean, he's done. Let's go down the list. We start with the beginning as horror goes. Was it House of the Devil the first, right?
I don't know if House of the Devil came first or Cabin Fever 2 came first.
House of the Devil was the first. I would know that. And Cabin Fever 2 was after. Then after Cabin Fever 2, I believe, was Innkeepers. Then after Innkeepers might have been, Sacrament, right?
Yeah, the Sacrament.
And actually, Mike and I both saw a screening of the Sacrament in Philadelphia with him in the theater watching it with us, and he had a Q&A after that was really dope, and we actually got to meet him I wish I still had that picture that I took with him.
I got a
but
picture of myself with him.
I don't know what happened to mine. I used to have it on an old Facebook account, and that thing is no longer active. So yeah, I wish I still had that photo. So yeah, it was the sacrament, and then after the sacrament, I believe. Oh yeah, I know he did an episode on VHS. He did the honeymoon episode.
Yes, he did.
Which was VHS. The second one in the film.
He also did a segment in the ABCs of Death. I think it was the first
that's
one.
right.
I know he got a bunch of jobs on TV shows.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he did maybe 1 or 2 episodes of that MTV Scream series.
Okay.
Like that show Outcast, I think was on like Cinemax or something. It was like a demonic possession show. But yeah, I know he took some time off and did some TV, and then did that Western movie.
Basically, everything horror related that he's been a part of has been very successful. All of it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we know the whole new trilogy of X, Pearl, and Maxine, which is soon to come. I love Pearl with a passion to the T. I love Pearl so much. I will stand by that film, and you can fight me if you don't like that. I love Pearl.
I thought Pearl was better than X.
I do too. I have to be honest. When I first saw X grew on me. Let's just say that X grew on me. I wasn't the biggest fan of it at first, but then after seeing Pearl and then going back to watching X again, and I'm like, all right, I'm liking this a little more now.
Yeah, and I'm the same. Remember, I called you after I saw X, and I was like, I don't know. I think he might have lost it.
The guy has one bad horror film, and you're like, he lost it.
But like, it grew on me. Like,
yeah, it grew on me for sure. And of course, you know, Maxine is coming out. We haven't seen much of it, but we've seen like a little teaser trailer, and just the look of it, everything about it just feels so nostalgic and cool that I'm all about it. And you know, it's going to be probably the raunchiest one out of the 3.
At the end of the day, though, I'll say out of all the horror movies I know are coming out, that one is the top of my list that I'm like, I can't wait for that.
There's nothing really that I'm anticipating that I'm like excited about besides that. Even with The Exorcist coming out this week, I'm like, whatever. Especially after they dropped the second trailer and they revealed so much stuff in that. I'm like,
I didn't see any.
David Gordon, man, I don't know, man. I was trusting you in the beginning with it, but after seeing the second trailer, I'm like, whatever. But this ain't about him. This is about our guy T. West. So, so yeah, T. West is till this day one of my all-time favorite horror movie directors. And House of the Devil, I put that in my top 10 favorite horror films of all time.
Wow,
no question about it. Top 10, it's in there.
Bold statement.
Hey, it's my opinion. It's for me. Other people may not like it, but hey, for me, it works for me and the type of filmmaking I like.
It lines up with what you love.
It does. So yeah, it's in my top 10 for sure. I don't know where I would rank it, but it's in the top 10.
I don't know if Innkeepers makes my top 10, but let's just say
would it make your top 20?
Definitely. 100%.
If House of the Devil didn't make my top 10, it would definitely make my top 20, without a doubt.
I could say for sure, Innkeepers is definitely probably like top 15.
If you guys want to tell us what's your favorite T. West film, please let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think about our picks. And I just want to say I thank you all again for tuning in and checking us out and keeping the content growing. I appreciate everything, and thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video.
See you guys.